The topic this morning is Nashville Homeless Underground. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about Nashville Homeless Underground Mr. Steve Samara and Mr. Howard Allen Jr., both members of the homeless community and who both have quite a bit of information in reference to what is going on now dealing with the homeless in Nashville. And let us start off with you, Mr. Steve Samara, and have you to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of leading you to us this morning. And then, of course, Mr. Allen will give us similar kind of information, and we'll be able to wrap up this first segment with that kind of information. Let's start with you.
Fantastic, and thank you for having me here today. I'm greatly appreciative. My name is Stephen Samra, as you mentioned. My background, I have kind of a varied background. I had an extended period of homelessness in the 80s and 90s. I'm a person, as we're considered, with lived experience. I was also experienced some addiction challenges, was entered recovery in 1999, and then returned to my education, received a bachelor's and a master's degree in public administration. And in about 2005, I came to Nashville, dedicating my life of service, essentially, back to those who were still struggling behind me. That's why I'm here in Nashville. I now, at this point, work for an organization in Boston on a national level. I work with the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration for the federal government on several contracts, and I provide technical assistance and training to organizations and agencies that use people with lived experience like myself and like Howard Allen to provide services at a substantially better, I think, outcome rate than the traditional service models.
Very good. And Mr. Allen, what about you?
Well, I'm a native Nashvilleian, and I went to local private schools, and I went to Tennessee State and Texas Southern. And then I had an experience where I became homeless myself. And through that experience, I co-founded an organization called the Nashville Homeless Power Project. And I had the pleasure of going to New York and seeing a broadened vision of homelessness there. And I came back with the idea of trying to educate the homeless and society and building as a we process, as a we thing. And June the 3rd, I have a good friend by the name of Randall Benson. We got together and we started the Nashville Homeless Underground. And also, it's just a way for me to be able to still connect because I'm no longer homeless. I came in last year, March the 21st. And as I said, I'm a native Nashvilleian. I was here in my own city, homeless for 9 years. So it's an educational process, and I'm part of that education.
And so you've got a lot of experience at being homeless right here in your own,
in my own city.
Hometown.
Yes,
in your
sir.
Home city. Very good. And of course, Mr. Summer, looking at your situation, we've got about 2 minutes before this segment. Looking at your situation, so you've moved out of homelessness, and now you're occupied a very, very important position in terms of being able to help the homeless population, are you not?
That's correct. I serve on the Nashville Metropolitan Homelessness Commission along with 21 of my colleagues. I'm a homeless advocate and a homeless representative on that commission, charged with implementing the 10-year plan for Nashville to end homelessness. Certainly struggling at this point, but right now I think there's an exciting moment for us. We've had a new executive director appointed, William Connolly, who actually is also from Nashville. This is his hometown, and has some pretty extensive experience in working with people who are experiencing homelessness for quite some time here in Nashville. So I think we're on the cusp of a really exciting and pivotal time in Nashville.
Very good. And of course, Mr. Allen, I was hoping that he would continue on until the end of this segment so that we could come back to you during the second segment and have you to give us some information about the homeless underground. Okay. And so that's essentially what we want to do. We've got about a couple more statements in reference to what you were saying.
Sure. So with the commission, I think the key at this point is to refocus the effort on the 10-year plan and really start to drill down into housing the folks who are still in the street here. And the challenge with that really is multifaceted. But I think with the new director of the Homelessness Commission and truly some very serious commitment with the other colleagues of mine, I think we're in a position today to actually make a difference.
Very good. And of course, Mr. Summer, we're going to take this first commercial break, and we're going to come back, and then we'll deal with Mr. Allen and the Nashville Homeless Underground. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Second segment of the show for today.